Culture Mix is conceptually is proof that people from different parts of the world can come together to unify in a unified effort to make very high-level music. It's proof that the music is the universal language of all of the earth. We have people from Trinidad, Panama, France, Brazil, and Germany, very diverse, yet when we come together to play, the end result is very positive. Well, in Culture Mix, it's my band. When I'm working with a string quartet, fundamentally, which is like working with Didier Lockwood from France, Sylvain Luc from France, Basque, Victor Bailey from the USA. It's a different kind of personality. That's another band that I work with. But actually, whenever I play with anyone, I come with contributions based on my experiences as an artist at the drum set. And so all of my projects, working with Drum and Voice 2 here in Italy, it attracts a lot of different musicians. And in the Drum and Voice 2 concept, fundamentally, I just lay down tracks, and then we get people like Buddy Miles to come in, and John Patitucci, and many, many more to come and play with me, play on recordings, and that's another kind of approach that I utilize from time to time. Well, I've watched many musicians, from Miles Davis to Herbie Hancock, Mahavishnu Orchestra, working with George Duke and in my bands, and taking around groups like Ernie Watts and Brian Bromberg and Joe Kendamo. Always a different situation. Everybody is like, it's always jostling and working out what will be the best compromise. You know, everyone can't be happy, but we can be made as comfortable as possible, so that the performance is important. And for me, you know, coming to venues such as Blue Note, where here in Milano, which is to me 5 stars. I mean, everybody is doing their stuff, they're doing their business correctly, and so this makes my job easier. It makes me lower my shoulders down and play and be an artist. In 1968, I was playing a relatively standard but a little bit bigger sized club called La Scala, and we were playing in this place with Horace Silver in a jazz festival. And La Scala ended up being this big, beautiful opera house that we thought was a club. And some people rolled in with a huge, big set of boxes. Actually 2. One was an amplifier, speaker system, and the other one was a big box that looked like somebody's oversized hat box, square, and they took off the top, and there was a drum set under it on wheels, connected to a box that we call an idiot box that had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons. And they said, you know, if you hit each of these buttons, it will give you a different sound, a drum sound simulated. Well, was not exactly true, but the idea was very solid. And through the Miazzi group, it got my curiosity up about making electronic music through drums. Then came Moog and Oberheim and ARP, and the rest is history. I've been involved in it ever since. So it's been almost 40 years. artists in the jazz scene, man, it's constant change. That's always changing. Right now, artists are a dime. It used to be dime a dozen. Now it's a dime for 144. You know, it's a dime for 12 dozen, because they're great artists all over, and it's proven throughout the world that now jazz is no longer just a specialty for emanating or coming out of the United States. It's all over the world. I mean, in Italy, you've got great musicians, the same as you have in America, the same as you have in Iceland, or down in the southernmost Tierra del Fuego. There are musicians who can play Chile. It is an international foundational platform that influences everyone's approach to playing what we consider popular music. I walked into Miles's house the very first time I was invited to rehearse, and given a piece of paper and said that this is what we were going to record. And I looked at this piece of music paper, and it was virtually blank except for maybe as many as 15 notes on one page. It's just different notes, and it was a scale, and fundamentally we needed to make a movie soundtrack from it. And Miles turned to me and said, "Okay, we're going to be in the studio tomorrow. Be there at 10 o'clock. We hit. Remember everything you play. Don't forget it, because it fits right into all these notes. Ciao." Right now is, of course, Culture Mix. I have a film, associate producer on, called Sonic Mirror, and it's due for premiere at Neo Documentary Festival in April. My director is Mika Korismaki, and the main producer is Marco Forster. That's a big key thing for me right now. It is representative of all of the different areas in which I touch with music. I play with Brazilian groups from in and around Salvador de Bahia. I work with some family relatives of mine from Nigeria, and we come together to work in an environment of autistic community. My mom and dad take a major part. It was my dad's last project. He passed away last year, and so it's a big one for him that we dedicate. Musicians from Panama, so they talk about that golden age back in the 40s and how the music was then. I have a lot of friends in Switzerland where I live, so we work with yodeling choir and alphorn player playing blues, which was an indication of how music eclipses all borders. And of course the last one was working in Finland with Randy Brecker, with orchestral pieces that I had orchestrated for me of my music, like Crosswinds and Stratus and Red Baron, like that, with a big band there called Espu. And it really rounds out very nicely. I'm very proud to have been a part of it. Hi, this is Billy Cobham, and I'm sitting here on stage at the Blue Note in Milano. And wish you were here, but since you're not, we'll try to make up for the loss, and see you the next time around. Ciao.